doing push-ups. I've been doing sit-ups. I've been doing chin-ups. I've been doing pull-ups. I threw up once, but I'm okay now.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to a new week of the YSN Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren. My name is DJ Yoakley, straight from the coast with the most, with a lot of flag football. I'm on this side. On the other side, the very dapper and always handsome and good-looking Mr. Quinn Pushkar. The ladies love him.
It's news to me.
Guys despise him. Quinn is here. We are going to talk about the brand new unveiling of our power rankings and kind of what goes into them. We've had a lot of questions about them. Why are we changing things up in the middle of a season as opposed to waiting till next season? Well, you're going to get all your answers right here on the YSN Power Hour. And Quinn's here to give us a more educated, scientific reasoning behind 1 through 25 on both sides. Before we get to all of that, it is birthday time. Let's blow out them candles. All right, a lot of birthdays. The other day we had like one good birthday, one solid birthday. And a reminder to all of you out there, if you out in the YSN universe have a birthday that you want to celebrate or let the world know about right here on the Power Hour, powered by Toyota of Warren, make sure that you send it to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it may be. Or if you're an email person, it's info at ysnlive.com. Quinn, do you know any famous birthdays for today?
I do not.
I'm about to educate you on it, son. Jake Paul. You know Jake Paul.
I know he went to Westlake. That's all I know about him.
I didn't know that.
Played football, all-state football player.
I know he's a YouTube star. And did he and Logan Paul both fight? I don't know. But one of the Pauls fight. Happy birthday to him. That's his 25th birthday today. So he's younger than you.
Maybe it's the other one. Maybe it's Logan.
Logan Paul?
Maybe he's the one that's the all-state player.
Betty White would have had her birthday today, the late Betty White. Jim Carrey. Without looking, how old is Jim Carrey today?
68.
What? 60 years old. Jim Carrey. Do you have a Jim Carrey impression?
Nope.
Oh, that's not even good. I'm not even gonna finish that. Steve Harvey, my guy. Steve Harvey, 65 today. Muhammad Ali had a birthday today. Also, I'm trying to get through all of these. Dwayne Wade, pretty good basketball player. He turns 40. Can you believe that? Dude's 40 years old. He's only 3 years older than I am. I really 2 years because I have a birthday coming up as well. Benjamin Franklin. You know all about that guy.
That guy got buckets.
He's got buckets. Ray J, for all the old people out there, turns 41 today. What else? James Earl Jones turns 91. Do you know who James Earl Jones is?
I do.
Can you name one movie he was in?
Star Wars.
Yes, he was. Here's one for you. Little John turns 51. Yeah.
No clue who that is.
You don't know Little John?
Nope.
Little John?
I know Big John.
Kid Rock turns 51 as well. Do you know Kid Rock?
I do.
Okay. We got a lot of birthdays today, man. What is that? YSN Flow? A rapper? Maury Povich turns 83. The TV
83.
I don't think he took that when he was 83, that picture. That was probably 53. And that's it. That's it. If you got any birthdays that you want us to shine a line on, again, make sure you send them on over to our social media as well as info@ysnlive.com. All right, Quincy, we made a decision over the last couple weeks because there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions about teams, and some of those opinions are very clouded. We're trying to remain credible, and as much as I wasn't a science guy in high school, the science of what you brought to the table with the Martin RPI system and how the RPI works, to me, gives not only our area more credibility with our teams in basketball and football, and we're going to be looking for this kind of stuff in baseball and softball too, as I understand it. But it also gives people a reality check, right? And it's less about who we think is good and more about who is good in reality. So if you wouldn't mind, please explain RPI and how Martin RPI, which is a very, very good source, by the way, they come up with determining 1 through 25.
So RPI is basically ratings percentage index. It's tough to explain how that all works out, but it's a weighted formula. It takes your winning percentage, your opponent's winning percentage, your opponent's winning percentage, and then an SSF rating, which is like a strength of schedule for your opponents, a bunch of other things like that. And it's weighted. So it's 35% is your winning percentage, 35% of your opponent's winning percentage, 25% of your opponent's winning percentage, and then 5% of your strength of schedules and all that.
Wow.
So it's a weighted formula that basically a spreadsheet will do for you if you fill the formula.
So I guess what we want to make crystal clear is this isn't us putting this together per se. No. We are putting our teams that are in the YSN family out there and ranking them based on their percentage points. Mm-hmm. So when you and I talked, we didn't want it to be just 10 anymore because everybody's doing 10, right? If we can do it at a high clip, who are the best 25 teams? And that's what you, my friend, put out on Monday and kind of presented to us and said, hey, here it is in a very clean format. So now we are the official top 25 of this area. Like people are looking at this and we got a lot of good, honest to God compliments on taking a leap here. And Quinn, I want to make sure that people know that this is all you, man. You really started this. You love basketball. Basketball is something that you love more than any other sport, and it shows naturally being a coach. But your IQ is off the charts. So when we put this RPI style format into the top 25, there's teams that and fans that can't really argue this anymore, or is there still room to argue? I guess is my best question.
Yeah, there's always room to argue. I mean, there naturally is. I mean, any list is going to have an argument to it. So,
and I think one of the biggest things I saw yesterday on our socials were one team might be a little bit higher, but they were beat by a team that was lower. Explain that for people who don't really understand. That's not always how rankings works. You can beat a team and still be lower to them because of the losses that you've incurred or the strength of schedule, correct?
Yeah, I mean that's a giant rabbit hole that you don't want to really go down into. But I mean, just because you beat somebody doesn't mean you're better than them, basically, in the grand sense.
Which sounds weird.
Yeah, I mean I can explain it like you could get, I don't want to say lucky, but like if you make more shots, you're most likely going to win that game. That doesn't necessarily mean you're the better team. If you're the way RPI works basically is that if you beat, say, 3 Division I teams and you lose to a Division III team, it rewards you because you beat better teams. And
not necessarily what you lost. Yeah, right. Gotcha. This is something that we're looking to do in football. A little easier in football too because we have some of that stuff. We have the data accessible to us. Baseball and softball, which is all I know your true love. This might be on us.
That baseball and softball is going to be tough because of rainouts, snowouts in our area. Not playing everybody that you probably should necessarily play. Like basketball is pretty easy to do because you're indoors. So for it to cancel, it's got to be pretty bad.
Although we have cancellations tonight.
We do.
It's kind of weird.
I know there's some with what just came through. There's been some pipe problems in some schools.
COVID
gyms,
still?
yeah, sickness
Illnesses?
and stuff like that's coming through. But it's a lot easier to do RPI and stuff like that for basketball.
So what we're saying is we're going to try our best for baseball and softball. But if there's not this equation, we'll make an equation for it. I mean, you are a nerd. If people don't, and I mean this with all due respect, you are a numbers nerd when it comes to this stuff. You love that stuff. You'll sit over there and crunch numbers all day. Yeah. You and Anthony Malone just.
The hardest part with this formula is going to be your opponent's winning percentage to figure out, because you're going down very far into that. Like you figure your winning percentage counts for however many games you play. So at the end of the year, it's 22 games for the regular season. We'll just say that because it's an easy number. Your opponent's winning percentage is easy because it's all just whoever you played, take the records and figure it out. The opponent's winning percentage means you're digging into 300, 400 games, trying to figure out that number. And then you have the SSF factor, which is just your school size, basically. So you're awarded points, kind of like how football does it, based on division. Same concept, where basketball is broken into 4 different divisions.
So I guess my question is, let's say you play a team the first game of the season, right? Or the second game of the season, and that team already has a winning percentage of 1,000. Mm-hmm. Does it recalculate every week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Every game.
Every single game that recalculates.
Yeah, because your winning percentage is based on when you play.
Yeah, because that team might win one game in the first game of the season, mm-hmm. and that might be it. And it changes week to week. So what I'm trying to get to is that team that looked like a big coup on your schedule, mm-hmm. if they don't win many games, you're going to be hit because of it throughout the year. So you might start out in the top 10, mm-hmm. but because they won that game, but end up out of the top 10 because they lost every other one.
Could be. I mean, that's where the weights come into play with the percentages per category that gets into it. That's kind of where that helps out, so that you're not necessarily falling too far because of it. But I mean, it's all weighted, so it all counts and it all plays into it.
Love it. You look like a scientist with the tie on today. Like, you could have said anything right now, and I'd been like, oh, okay, absolutely. Makes sense, because you look professional. I'm proud of you.
Something.
This is great stuff. This is a huge step for us, because a lot of our stuff now, we own the market when it comes to how many games. So how many games do we have to this point this year?
540 basketball games are covered.
That's ridiculous. So nobody knows these teams and these games better than we do. So I felt good about the credibility of our top 10. And you don't have a top 10 if you don't want it criticized. You want the pot to be stirred a little bit. Not so much that you'd put somebody in there that shouldn't be in there, but somebody's always going to have something to say. I was so pleasantly surprised. I was going through the airport yesterday. You sent these to me. I was crossed over in time zones because we were in Chicago. You sent these to me. We wanted to get them out at noon. I think I got them out just after noon. But the shares, the comments, only a few people, were I don't want to even say complaining, but suggesting that some of these were kind of off kilter. When you see that, does that excite you, knowing that I think we got it right?
The complaining people?
Yeah.
I don't care. You can complain all you want to. Numbers don't lie. To me, numbers don't lie. That's a very finite example of what's guaranteed to happen. Like, number tells me that number. That's where it's at. It is what it is.
It's why I love having Quinn here, because he's my guy. Like, I care so much about everybody's opinion and want everybody to hold hands, and you're just like, dumb, shut up.
I don't care. It's a number. Like, you want to argue math, find the math problem, figure it out. Tell me I'm wrong then.
In the words of Ron Burgundy, it's science.
Yeah.
And it's weird saying that it's science. It's sports science, man.
Science, math, everything.
You get excited about this stuff.
Don't go to.
You love this stuff. You absolutely love this stuff.
Yeah, because it's basketball. At the end of the day, it's basketball.
I'm so excited for you to start baseball on this. Baseball and softball.
That'll be plugging the numbers, and here's your number. Here you go. Figure it out.
Top 25. Do you like 25 instead of 10?
Yeah.
We kind of went back and forth on this.
I mean, 25 is good because you figure 25 is the college ranking system. Mm-hmm. You get into the NFL that does their rankings and stuff like that. Like, they rank everybody. If we were to rank everybody, that's way too much numbers. Like, it's insanely high to deal with. 25 is a good number. I mean, if it works everywhere else, why not?
I think it's like people will still look at the top 10.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, with the way that you set up the graphic, they're definitely looking at the top 3, right? Which I think that's what you want to shoot for anyway. But I think it also gives you great context as to who are the best teams around here. Because when you do 10, it's pretty, it's nice, but at the end of the day, who are the best small, big teams that we're missing? You know what I mean? Because they don't, you can't feature everybody. But I think 25 is that cutoff. You know, do I think somebody's going to want 50? Sure, they'll probably want 50. Do they get 50? I don't think so. I think we do 25 is the standard. So, what else? I mean, what else can we add to this, the power rankings, that makes it next level? What's stirring in your brain right now?
Right now, it's just a bunch of numbers. Like, that's all that I'm thinking of because of this. I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm open to listening to ideas by all means.
There it is. So, he's open to listen to ideas. We're all open.
Doesn't mean I'll agree with your idea, but I'll listen.
There it is. And I know nobody knows that better than I do. Nobody knows better. So what I love about this is, again, people seem to be embracing it. I think it's cleaner both from a graphic standpoint and from a standpoint of, like, there's 25 of them and they're pretty.
If I show you this, will you still say it looks clean?
That's ugly. No, that would give me nightmares.
That's how I get you your graphic.
That gives me nightmares.
It gives me exactly what I need to know. Like, I could see who's missing what. I mean, top 10 wise, you're talking about a millionth of a point in RPI from 10 to 11.
Wow.
So if you wanted to break it down into the top 10, like, based on the numbers right here on our graphic, you know, Badgers 11, they're at a 0.7932 RPI. 10th is Jefferson, they're at 0.7933.
Who's the 26th team that didn't make it?
Wellsville, and they're at 0.7234. Boardman is 25th at 0.7265.
Wow. So it's tight.
It's close.
It's very tight. Anything else for the people that you want to give them a little nugget of information?
No. I don't like my secrets getting out there.
I know. You like keeping your secrets over there by that window.
Keep them to myself.
Pump
out surprises.
I think, and this is going to be a condensed version of the YSN Power Hour presented by Toyota of Warren today, because you have stuff to do. Obviously, you're going to be coaching a basketball game. I am not going to be coaching a basketball game. I have a meeting that I have to tend to with the fellows and ladies of Game Changer, which we had a great weekend in Tampa, Florida, for the World Championships in the USA flag. We did 7 games, high production games. Kudos and shout out to our friends over at 440 and Goal, Sam and Ryan, who were huge parts of that. Sam did a great job on the microphones, making those kids feel like they were professionals, and Ryan, production off the charts. So thanks to them. I was just the guy that was holding the camera, right? I was doing my thing. But we have some breaking news. Are you ready to share this?
Sure.
We, YSN and Game Changer, will be headed to a little thing called the NFL Pro Bowl. Are you familiar?
A little bit.
So this year, NFL is doing flag football for their Pro Bowl. So there's no tackling in the actual Pro Bowl game. We're not actually doing the Pro Bowl game itself. We will be on hand in Allegiant Stadium and taking part in some capacity. But the day before is Saturday, and the youth are going to be doing their World Championships for, I believe it's the NFL flag leagues. And we will be producing material for that. So we're really excited about that. A partnership with Game Changer, again, coming through for us. We love that. Those people are so great. And it's a great partnership, great team effort on these. But even more so, now we're getting into an opportunity with some of the heavyweights, the NFL, hopefully the NBA, MLB, across the board. So just bigger and better things continue to happen. And we thank you for it, because without you and the 8 million views last year, and Quinn, I'm going to break some news for you. You ready? We had over 2 million views through 16 days of this year. 2 million views. Wow. So our goal of 10 we might have to shuffle up a little bit. But it's what we do, right? It's YSN page views. It's what we do. But we're excited. That will be over the February 4th weekend. So stay tuned for that. We'll have it here on YSN. Direct links right to ysnlive.com/live. And we'll have a team of people out there as well. So we're excited for that. The one thing that I learned out there is the struggle bus is really, it's really happening with officials. Like, these officials are not, and they probably shouldn't take crap from parents. It has been very interesting. But I would say on top of all of this, what I learned out there is flag football is legit. It is coming out and people are loving it and absorbing it and, bringing it in. Do you think you'll ever see a flag football takeover to the point where it takes over actual football?
No.
Why not?
The American public loves watching men hit each other.
They do.
They like violence. It's pretty much the only reason.
But mamas don't like their boys getting concussions, getting hurt.
The ones that play in the NFL aren't soft, I guess. I don't know.
But like you look at Tua, his situation. Kenny Pickett had 2 concussions this year. Concussions, they're on the rise. I don't know if they're on the rise so much as they're more aware. Everybody's more aware of them nowadays. And it's not to say that you can't get a concussion in flag football, because we saw some hits. But you're more likely not to lead with your face if you don't have a face mask or a helmet. So from that standpoint, like, can you see some of this stuff? I mean, you love basketball. Do you see some of this, these exhibitions that you see like on NBA weekend, like the challenges? Do you see that becoming more prevalent sometimes than the actual game itself?
Not really. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to watch the best athletes play the sport at the highest level possible. Skill stuff is kind of cool. I mean, it's nice to do that for the All-Star game. You see the guys that can, for the NBA at least, the guys that jump out of the gym. You got the guys that could shoot really well. They used to do, I don't know if they still do that dribble course or whatever the skill.
Yeah, the pass one too.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving was
it's
really
cool
good.
Watching guys like that, see them do what they're good at. But at the end of the day, you want to watch them play games.
Is there a niche audience that, like, if you took just a skills competition and created a gamification, so to speak, that people would watch it?
I would say so. I mean, you're still going to get people to watch it depending on when you put it on. I mean, the NBA, they'll do it. The NFL will do it. Like, they'll put it on a time where there's not games, or they'll put it when viewers will have nothing else to do but watch it. So it'll give them their money.
So you ready for some breaking news? More breaking news? I think we broke 3 things on this show already. And this is a big you and I, we got to figure this out, are going to create a flag football league for high schools.
Oh, boy.
This spring.
Add that to my notes.
Yeah, just go ahead and add that to your notes. Ideally, I think end of May to start into June, because July 1st, all the football starts anyway. So I think ideally we want May, the end of May, and a 6-game schedule. And that includes, or a 7-game schedule, depending on what we can do. And that includes playoffs, 2 weeks of playoffs. That being said, we're looking for teams from Columbiana County, Mahoning County, Trumbull County, and Ashtabula County to participate, because we're going to have 4 different locations that we're working on right now, that every Sunday it'll be kind of like the NFL does with CBS and Fox, only YSN will have the entire thing. We'll be able to broadcast each and every game, each and every week, and other people will be able to watch. So it does a couple things. And I know some of the coaches that have asked about this, it does wonders for their getting football ready, their endurance and, running plays and things of that. We're thinking it's going to be 7-on-7 from that standpoint with the flag pulls. Thinking it's 7-on-7, we're still touching on 6-on-6, maybe even 5-on-5, depending on numbers. But we're looking for 10 different schools or teams, I should say. I shouldn't say schools. 10 different teams representing those different communities. So Columbiana, Mahoning, Trumbull, and Ashtabula. You can be combined teams, so you can make a super team if you'd like. You can make, I believe we got to double check on the rights. You know this better than I do. OHSA, can you have more than 7 players on a roster from the same team?
Not sure about football because they don't really do that.
So we'll have to check on it.
3, baseball's I think 4.
So we'll check on it. That'll probably dictate the number.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll double check on that. But if you and a group of friends want to get involved, play some flag football, this is going to happen. We're going to make sure that this happens. We're working on the difference now. Now you will only play in the regular season your particular, at least in my head, this is how it's going to go. You're only going to play Columbiana County teams will play Columbiana County. Mahoning will play Mahoning. Trumbull will play Trumbull. Ashtabula will play Ashtabula. And then in the playoffs, it'll be Columbiana versus Mahoning or Columbiana versus Trumbull or Columbiana versus Ashtabula. And then that'll be like the division championships leading into the quote-unquote championship games on that last weekend. So looking forward to it, something different. We learned, we talked about it with Game Changer. They love the idea. I love the idea. I think it gets people excited for football at the same time. So high school, it'd be 8th graders or 8th graders going into high school up to juniors at this point should be eligible and would be eligible. So if you're out there, you're listening to this, get excited for it. We'll have team names and sponsors and all that stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. You'll have jerseys, uniforms, all of that good stuff. And it's all going to be brought to you by us here at YSN. That was quick. That was a quick show. Abbreviated show. Anything else you want to say about are you excited about this flag football? I know you just learned about it.
I just figured it out now.
Surprise.
It'll be something.
I'm excited about it. The next thing.
Stew on it and figure it out real quick.
The next thing is basketball. Get some leagues going.
Be something.
I know Quinn can get that going. So we're going to wrap it up today real early, obviously, with our Joe Dickey Electric What's Your Spark, presented by Joe Dickey Electric. Here we go. Our friends at Joe Dickey Electric, anything commercial, residential, anything electrical, head over to DickeyElectric.com. Quincy, do you have a spark from this weekend?
Spark from this weekend?
Long weekend?
Yeah, I didn't have to watch the Browns. That was kind of nice.
There it is.
That was pretty nice.
Do you like Schwartz as your defensive coordinator?
Yeah, why not? Bring him back. He was here in the 90s.
Was he?
He
was stunk with the Lions, man.
Went to the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah, 2011.
Megatron.
Mm-hmm. Stafford at Megatron. Won a Super Bowl with the Eagles in 2018 as the defensive coordinator. Yeah, why not?
As long as you're happy with it, man.
He ain't gonna fix the offense though, so it's
that's true.
That one out.
That's tough.
But it was nice. It was a nice Browns-free weekend.
As a Browns fan, would you want to see Stefanski just take the head coaching only role?
I'd like to see him gone, but that's I know that's not gonna happen.
My spark was, obviously a great weekend. Wasn't as warm as I wanted it to be down in Tampa Bay. I'm not going to lie to you. I think when we got off the plane here in Ohio, it was just as warm as it was in Tampa Bay, 45 degrees. And a lot of people are saying, oh, poor you. No, it was fun regardless of how not warm it was down there. But people looked at us weird because we weren't wearing super heavy coats. You would have thought that it was going to freeze over in Tampa Bay, and they were looking at us like they knew we were Northerners immediately, probably for more than one reason. But it was one of those things where everybody was looking at us weird because we had a hoodie on. So great time this weekend. We got a great week for you. We have a ton of games tonight. A couple of them already got canceled due to powers that be and powers beyond control, but we added one. Sounds like Edgewood and Spider's going to get covered. Sammy's going to be out there knocking that one down. So looking for that. And a complete listing is available on ysnlive.com/live for Quinn Pushkar. My name is DJ Oakley. We will see you tomorrow. Scotty Mincher joins us on the Power Hour, powered by our friends at Toyota of Warren. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time here on the network. Have a good night. Watch YSN. Peace. YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats,